Hi there guys, I hope you are all well. Now, Cheeseburger Breath Jarrel Miller has been back at it again. He said had he fought Anthony Joshua on June 1st, he would have given him a worse beating than Andy Ruiz Jr. and he would have put him in a casket. Now, that is the words of Jarrel Miller. He said this to be precise. I would have put Anthony Joshua in a casket. I would have put a hurting on Joshua so bad that he would never look in my direction again. So I had his number. A lot of people don't know that Andy Ruiz Jr. asked me to come out for sparring. I was going to have Andy Ruiz Jr. on my training team. A lot of people said, why are you going to have Andy Ruiz Jr. on your training team? He's short, chubby. He's a different fighting style. He's a fighting man. And he's good on the inside. He throws combinations and has fast hands. He's not a great outside fighter, but what I needed him for is Joshua tried to mix it with Andy and cracked his behind. If he would have fought me, I would have put way more hurt on him. So there we go, those are the comments from Cheeseburger Breath Big Baby Miller. So first of all, I'm going to say, he would have put a beating on Anthony Joshua, would he? Well, how many drugs was he taking? I mean, he has a punch output that is kind of crazy for even a middleweight, especially considering he throws those same kind of punches in the 12th round as he did in the first. Why is that? Especially considering the guy's like 300 pounds or something like that. So where is that speed coming from? Where is that endurance coming from? Oh wait, he was taking drugs. That's where it comes from. So Jarrel Miller saying he would have put a hurt on Anthony Joshua is only because of his drugs. And that's not even saying he would have beat Anthony Joshua. I believe that even Jarrel Miller on those substances still wouldn't have beaten Anthony Joshua. Obviously Joshua was coming to knock him out. So that would have kind of played into Jarrel Miller's hands because obviously he's taking substances. That means he is very unlikely to be knocked out. And obviously with Anthony Joshua trying to knock him out, he's going to start getting tired, especially with that kind of punch output, if he was going looking for Jarrel Miller. But obviously Jarrel Miller on all of those substances wouldn't get tired because, as we know, his punch output is the same in the 12th round as it is in the first round. And we know that he wasn't subjected to drug testing, not extensive enough to catch him before. But as soon as he's fighting Anthony Joshua, he gets popped for drugs. And that is because obviously there was VADA testing for the AJ fight. And interestingly enough, Jarrel Miller refused to be in the WBC rankings because in order to do that, he had to sign up to VADA. Why didn't he want to sign up to VADA? Let's think about that for a moment. Why didn't he want to sign up to VADA? Well, because he would have got popped for drugs. And I think it will be kind of interesting to see Jarrel Miller's comeback. I mean, in his comeback, he's going to be on VADA testing. He's going to have to be. No one will fight him unless he is. So he's going to have to be on VADA testing. Is he going to still have that kind of punch output? Is he still going to have that endurance? We'll know because he says that he's never taken drugs. He's not a drugs cheat. It was for his elbow. That was the reason why he said he took those substances, because he had a bad elbow. He says it was for this and that, but it was a load of rubbish. It wasn't for his elbow. It was because he was cheating. He was always cheating. And unless he comes out with proof, then he cannot say that he wasn't. And coming back to the ring, we will see the truth. We will know the truth because if that is true, then he will have the same punch output. He will pass all of his drugs tests and he will still have that same kind of punch output. He will be no different. So then, okay, maybe we can start believing a little bit of what Jarrel Miller says. But again, he's not offering any proof. He says it was for his elbow. Where's the proof? Prove it. I mean, where's the harm in that? There is no ongoing case. Not like there would be if it was UCAD, so he's free to just release all the information. Prove it. If it was his elbow, prove it. Put the information out there. Don't say it was because of this, it was because of that. Then not give a reason and proof. That is the main thing here. He needs to prove it, and he just hasn't done that. So how can we believe him? And back to him saying that he's going to put Anthony Joshua in a casket and he would have given Anthony Joshua a worse beating than Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. is a better fighter than him in every aspect. Anthony Joshua got a better fight on June 1st than he would have if Jarrel Miller would have turned up, because Andy Ruiz Jr. is all round a much better fighter than Jarrel Miller. A lot of people said that when Jarrel Miller got popped for drugs and kicked out and Andy Ruiz Jr. came in, they said that Ruiz was actually a better fighter than Jarrel Miller. A lot of boxing people actually said that. They said that Anthony Joshua now has a tougher fight than he would have if he was fighting Jarrel Miller. So Jarrel Miller can just keep talking because that's all he's ever done. That's all he seems to be good at. Big baby by name, big baby by nature. I think that, to be honest, Jarrel Miller has decided he's the villain now. No one's ever going to really be on his side. So he's decided he's the villain and he's going to play up to that. He's still going to get paid at the end of the day. He's going to get the big fights by just running his mouth. So he will continue to do that to get the paydays, to get the big fights, because that is what he has to do. All he has to do is open his mouth and people will talk about him. So that is what Jarrel Miller is going to do. He knows he's the villain now. Nothing's going to change that now. So he's just going to play up to it. But guys, one thing I will say about this drug cheat and drug testing is you can kind of tell when a fighter is on drugs, because if you think about it, a fighter always fights in a rhythm. Look at Terence Crawford, look at Lomachenko, Usyk. They fight in a rhythm. Because what they are doing in the early rounds is downloading data. They are taking in what the other fighter is doing and they are working up to a pace. They don't start fast and start throwing loads of combinations and stuff like that. They start slow and build up to that pace. And no fighter can go gung-ho and full speed from the first bell to the last bell. Because imagine this, say you do a 200-meter sprint, then rest for a minute, then another 200-meter sprint, and repeat 12 times. Do you believe that your 12th run is going to be faster or the same speed as your first one? No, it's not. So how can a fighter do that, fight at that intensity for 12 rounds, resting only a minute in between, and continue to do that for that full fight? There is no way they can. So you can kind of see who is on drugs and who is not. As I said, the fighters who are not on drugs fight in a rhythm because they have to. They have to pace themselves, like a Terence Crawford, like a Lomachenko, and an Usyk. They pace themselves. They go slow to start with. They build up to a pace, and it is all planned and considered how much they are going to put into each round, whereas you have some fighters who go crazy from round 1 to round 12, and there's just no way they could maintain that without some substances, and Jarrel Miller is a prime example of that. How does he go the same in the 12th round as he does in round 1? Especially considering the size of the man, the weight he is carrying, nearly like 300 pounds. It's just not possible. So you can kind of see who is on drugs and who is not. The ones who aren't fight on a rhythm, like a Terence Crawford, fights at a rhythm, builds up to a pace, and paces himself throughout the fight like it's a marathon. Because remember, they are sprinting for 3 minutes, then resting for 1 minute, then sprinting again. So I guess you can kind of see who is cheating if they have a huge punch output in round 1 and they continue that throughout the whole fight to round 12. You can kind of see if they're on something or not. Because as I said, if you sprint, rest for a minute, sprint again and do that 12 times, your time on the 12th lap is not going to be as fast as your first one. It's just not going to be. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Jarrel Miller's recent comments towards Anthony Joshua. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.